What's up, everyone? Sean Count Blaggerth here today with an album review. This time of the 2017 Outer Loop Records release of Flesh Coffin by Lorna. If you're not familiar with Lorna, they are a four-piece deathcore band from New Jersey that formed in 2010, and they have kind of made waves within the deathcore scene for being not only a standout band just in terms of being head and shoulders above many bands in terms of musical ability, songwriting, just everything about them I feel like really stands out amongst them. But the thing that makes them so unique as well is they are making true blackened deathcore. And this is the part about them that really turned me on to them when I discovered them back in 2015 with their album Psalms. It took a while for that to grow onto me because for me, black metal is the antithesis of heavy, and deathcore's sole purpose in most cases is to be heavy. So to combine something like that seemed kind of bizarre to me, but the more I listened to it, the more it made sense. And this new album, Flesh Coffin, is just absolutely unreal. What makes this such a standout release, in my personal opinion, is the abruptness of the songs. And when I say abruptness, you'll be listening to one of their faster parts that seems very blackened and almost atmospheric with these riffs that almost bring to mind a little bit of Watain, a little bit of dissection sort of sound to the riffs, and you'll be kind of lost in that. Then out of nowhere, like a fist against your head, a breakdown comes out of fucking nowhere. And it's never the type of breakdown that you can see coming. It's one that comes out of nowhere. They're not prolonged, they're not dragged out. They're very quick and straight to the point, a quick punch to the face. And that is the great thing about this, is it keeps you on your toes, because you never know when something's going to happen next. It could be an amazingly well executed solo. It could be a blackened sounding part. It could be one of the more technical sides of this album, because this album comes in many different shades, in my opinion. There's moments where it has like almost a technical death metal vibe that, in an odd sort of way, kind of reminds me of like Deeds of Flesh with some of the riffing. And then it goes back into these more blackened elements, and you just never know what's going to happen. And the great thing with their breakdowns, too, that keeps them from becoming monotonous, is the fact they add a lot of different textures within the breakdowns, where it'll be either a pattern that doesn't repeat, or a very quick, short, quick chug pattern, which to me is always very impressive when I can hear super tight, quick chugs in perfect synchronization with a kick drum. And being able to have these triplets and shit like that is just fucking sick. But the other thing is, too, with like a great example would be the song Denounce the Light. There's a little moment in there where it has this like kind of off-kilter guitar effect very quickly in the background doing, it almost in a weird way sounds like a ukulele with like a lot of distortion on it. I know a lot of people would be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But to me, that's what it almost has, this vibe of this very quick da-da-da-da in the background with this distortion put very low in the mix. So if you're not really paying attention, you won't catch it. And that's another thing about this album that's great, is there's a lot of very subtle things that are scattered throughout it. And also what continues on in that breakdown in Denounce the Light is the awesome guitar pans of going from left to right, back and forth. It's a very cool sound, and I wish more bands could really utilize it. I feel like that's something that should be utilized more, but for some reason really isn't. And that's another thing that makes this band just stand out head and shoulders above the rest. Production value. The production on this is very, very clean. Is it clean to the point where it almost takes away a little bit of the vibe and just the pure raw like hatred that's coming from the lyrics and the music that just really radiates this pure hatred? Kind of yes and no. For me, I like my music a bit more raw. it works for Lorna Shore, but I feel like if they had a little bit of a grittier sound, it would work just as well. But then again, it would be hard to pull off a lot of the guitar effects that these guys use. And for that reason alone, I can't really blame them for having this very clean, almost sterile production. But with that said, it sounds fucking fantastic. It's a very heavy mix, but what's very interesting is they're able to keep the atmospheric parts, the more blackened elements, like for example in the song Funeral Moon. I don't know why I was blanking on that, which is probably my favorite song from the album. Um, One of the main riffs in that starts off with this super fucking blackened, but it doesn't have this like death metal feel to it with the production. It doesn't detract. The production doesn't detract from that atmosphere, although I wish it was just a little bit more raw. But as I said, though, it doesn't really detract from it because when they switch back to the heavier moments, especially the breakdowns, there in this song, there's maybe about two, maybe three, if memory serves correctly. And the lyrics are fucking sick. I love the I beg for death, I beg for my end to come, I beg and plead to be a corpse at peace. I think that's sick and how they brought it back within the song. And I'm usually not a fan of repetitive lyrics, but the fact that they were able to utilize it in two different scenarios of two different, vastly different types of breakdowns is fucking awesome. But what I was saying about the production on it, though, is it doesn't take away from those heavy moments. It doesn't take away from the atmosphere, which is awesome because with black and deathcore, there's a few things that turn me off to it. As I said, black metal in all reality is the antithesis of heavy. And then you have deathcore, which is obnoxiously heavy. And it's hard to transition from these moments that are just kind of meant to bring chills up your spine to being a moment that you're supposed to just basically beat the fuck out of everyone and everything that you love. And they're able to pull it off, which is fucking awesome. And that's one of the things, too, that makes this stand out. And the other thing is the lyrics. Because within black and deathcore, it's always that really cheesy, Hail Satan, fucking bullshit, that black craft cult sort of t-shirt slogans are the lyrics. And to me, that's just cheesy as shit, and it's not even blackened. You're just trying to be edgy. Whereas Lorna Shore are truly creating something that is not only blackened in terms of music, but in the lyrics with the misanthropy that just spews forth in them. And the absolute disgust and hatred that they're able to portray. And the thing that's great too is the vocalist Tom is extremely talented. He has his highs almost remind me of Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder, but a little bit more wretched, which is fucking perfect for this style. And then his lows and gutturals are just absolutely pummeling. And I can't say enough good things about this album. If you get a chance to see these dudes live, do so. They're absolutely fantastic, very nice guys. And I can't say enough good things about Lorna Shore and this album. For a score 9 out of 10, I absolutely love this, and it's either constantly on my turntable or in my CD player, and when I'm at work, I'm listening to it on my phone. It is that goddamn good. Fantastic production, fantastic sounding drums. Everything is played with absolute precision. The vocals sound fantastic. They're not over processed. Everything about this is fantastic. And if you like it, I encourage you to pick up a copy. Now, there are a few different options if you want to buy this. On All In Merch, they have a bunch of bundles with shirts, beanies, whatever you want. With the album, you can get the CD or vinyl version. I happen to have both versions. CD version, fantastic. And of course, pick up the vinyl if you're a vinyl collector, because this truly does sound great. It does sound like it has a separate mastering. And the very cool thing is, if I only have this signed by the drummer and the vocalist from when I met them, but if you're to order it off of All In Merch, I believe all 4 members have signed this. And it's very cool. Comes with a nice lyric sheet. There's a download card, which is right here. I'm going to cover up the code. and comes on a nice daiquiri colored vinyl. So if you check this out, which I encourage you to do, links will be in the description. Pick up a copy and show support to Lorna Shore, because to me they are truly creating something special within the realm of deathcore. And as I said, this album is a 9 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. And I have a feeling in a few years' time, after many, many more listens, this will become a 10 out of 10 and an absolute modern classic within the style of deathcore. So that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And check out Lorna Shore, show them support. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.